HarperCollins presents The Drowned Village by Kathleen Mcgurl, narrated by Maggie Mash.
Prologue. It was the same dream. All these years, always the same dream. It was cold, snowing, and she was wearing only a thin cardigan over a cotton frock. On her feet were flimsy plimsolls. The sky was white. All colour had been sucked out of the countryside. Everything was monochrome. There was mud underfoot, squelching, pulling at her shoes, threatening to claim them and never give them back. On either side of her were the walls of the houses, only half height now, reaching to her waist or shoulder at most. All the roofs were gone. Doors and window shutters hung off their hinges. Everywhere was rubble, the sad remains of a once happy life. And then came the water, icy cold, nibbling first at her toes, then sloshing around her ankles and up to her knees. She was wading through it, struggling onwards, reaching out in front of her with both hands, stretching, leaning, grasping. But always it was just out of reach. No matter how hard she tried, she could not quite touch it. And always the water was rising higher and higher, the cold of it turning her feet and hands to stone. Ahead in the distance was her father's face, torn with anguish, saying, no, shouting something at her. She couldn't hear his words. They were drowned by the sounds of rushing water, rising tides, a burst dam, a wall of water engulfing everything around her. She knew she had to reach it. That was what he wanted, if only she could get hold of it. But still it was tantalizingly beyond her reach. Now the water was up to her chest, her neck, and she was trying to swim, but something was pulling her under, into the icy depths, and still she couldn't reach the thing she had come here for. Her chest was tight, burning with the effort to breathe, as the cold engulfed her, and panic rose within her. As always, just as the water washed over her head, filling her lungs and blurring her vision, she awoke, sweating, her heart racing, and her fingers, old and gnarled now, not the smooth, youthful hands of her dream, still stretching out to try to touch the battered old tea caddy. Chapter 1. Laura, Present Day. The TV was turned up so loud that Laura could hear it clearly even from the kitchen, where she was preparing the evening meal of shepherd's pie. She popped the dish into the oven and went through to the living room.
Laura, love, you must watch this. Wait a moment while I wind it back a bit.
Stella picked up the remote control and began stabbing randomly at buttons.
Let me, Gran, Laura said, gently taking the remote from her. What do you want me to see? Should I go back to the beginning of the news?
Thank goodness you could pause and rewind live TV, she thought. Her grandmother's hearing was not so good anymore, and despite having the sound turned up so loud, she still often needed to watch snippets again or turn on the subtitles.
No, just this bit,
Stella said, peering intently at the screen.
There, play it from now.
An image of mountains and moorlands, purple heather and dry brown bracken appeared on the TV. Then the camera panned round to show a dried-up lake, where a reporter was picking his way across a bed of cracked mud. Here and there were low stone walls, an iron gate, tree stumps. The reporter stopped beside the remains of a building.
Usually, if I was standing here, the water level would be over my head. But the extended drought this summer means that Beerswater Reservoir has almost completely dried up, exposing the ruins of the village of Brackendale Green, once home to a couple of hundred people before the dam was built. There, Brackendale Green!
Stella's eyes were shining.
What a...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?